Welcome to day 2 of our writing a narrative. Today we're going to be learning about sequencing the events of our story. And sequencing just means telling the things that happen in a specific order. For example, think about what you did this morning when you woke up. Here's an example of what I did. First, I woke up and got dressed. Next, I went downstairs and ate breakfast. Then I brushed my teeth and combed my hair. Last, I got in the car and drove to school. So I put it in the very specific order that it happened. I didn't say first I got in the car and drove to school because that wasn't the first thing that I did, and that doesn't make sense because I have to get dressed and eat breakfast and do all these things before I even can get to my car to drive to school. So now you have to do the same and think of what events are going to happen in your story because stories have the exact same structure. Let's go back to our brainstorming from yesterday and outline this and do the same thing with our story here. So our prompt, if you remember, was over the summer, you and your friends go to the park. On the other side of the field, you see a monster coming out of the ground. That's the example that we worked on yesterday. It's not what you're writing about, but an example of what I'm writing about to show you what you need to do. We came up with the different characters we might use, what our monster might look like, and what might happen next when we encounter our monster. So let's do the same thing here. I crossed off then because you don't have to do the third thing. You just have to come up with 3 things and not 4 things. So let's say the first thing we did was we walked over to the monster and saw it was red and fluffy. And, I'm painting a picture for my reader, what I'm doing and what my monster might look like. And then the next thing we did was we offered it a granola bar Sarah had in her backpack. So that was the next thing we did after we walked over. We offered it a granola bar. And then the last thing we are going to do is the last thing was that the monster was happy, friendly, and played at the park with us. And there we have our monster story. We've sequenced the events that are happening after we saw that the monster came out of the ground. So you're going to do the same thing on formative. You'll see this exact same graphic organizer. And for number 1, you're going to type what happened first in your story, 2, what happens next, and 3, what happens last, with whatever prompt you've been assigned. Good luck.